What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my wildly handsome co-host, John Luke. What's up,
Wildly handsome. I don't know why, but adding that little adjective there means a lot.
I think it's the shirt. I think it's the Prize Picks gear that we're all repping today. And guys, on that note, we have two very special guests joining us today from the Prize Picks team here to play one of our games with us. We've got Brett Johnson, who's the Vice President of Game Operations and an avid Jason Tatum truther. And we've got Dylan Cooper here with us as well, who is the Senior Vice President of Revenue at Prize Picks. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
It's been a while coming. Dylan, a couple months ago when I was in Atlanta, I was in the Prize Picks office up there. We were having like a game zone. We were watching one of the games together and everyone working during an NFL game, I think on a Thursday night. And Dylan was like, "Hey, do you have one of your games prepped? Like, can we do one right now in the office?"
So much fun. It looks so much
so
fun.
He had me pull it up in the office, and Dylan just absolutely wrecked everyone.
Oh my God, he's about to wreck us, isn't he?
Just wrecked everybody in the office. It was Fantasy Fortune, but I think he had to get on here.
It was Fantasy Fortune. Not that hard.
No, not that it was. It just wasn't this game that we're playing today. Guys, we got some people in the chat ready for today's game. Joey, what's up? Joey said, "Oh, I see. I mopped the floor with the regulars, and I'm not allowed back. I'll go back to losing. I promise." I mean, yeah, Joey. No,
I don't know what happened yesterday. Why was Joey so good?
No, it was just ridiculous. He's cheating, and that's why he's never allowed back on the show again. On that note, though,
Joey.
If you guys watched yesterday, Joey's giant Yoda Lego figure fell off his cabinet and attacked him midstream.
Disfigured him.
Took a lightsaber to the scapula, so we'll have to see if Joey gets that Yoda fixed. We got J-Wall in the chat. What's up, J-Wall? Let's get it. And Albert, welcome and good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us, Albert. And Mr. Scamper said, JL does have a real outdoorsy vibe.
A real outdoorsy vibe today. I'm an outdoor cat. You can smell me.
Nature
smell like outside.
Here. You just smell like woods and grass and all of that. Guys, before we get started with today's game, a couple reminders. Number one, I want to make sure you guys are following our guests over on Twitter. If you are not already, you can find Dylan on Twitter at DylanCooper32. And then you can find Brett on Twitter at LinesMakerBrett. And if some of you guys play Prize Picks, maybe you've already found that Twitter handle. Some names might pop up in the chat and Brett's going to get like, "Ooh, no, not that guy." What's up, Dame? Welcome in. Glad to have you here.
Dame?
Then, guys, if you're watching this, that means you're already on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that like button on this video and make sure you subscribe to Front Yard Fantasy. It is the easiest way to show your support for what we are doing over here. And it'll help us get Josh back. I feel like we're this close to convincing Josh to come back, JL.
Yep. Yeah, we're creating, those the barrel monkey guys?
Yeah.
We're creating a really long one of those to try and throw it to Josh in space and lasso him back in.
We'll see if it works.
And every subscriber gets us another monkey. So
yeah, each subscriber equals one additional monkey to our chain. Guys, like I mentioned before, we brought Brett and Dylan here to play a game today. And today we are playing one of our newest games, Fantasy The Price Is Right. I'm going to explain how this game works, and then we will get right into it. Brett, Dylan, are you guys ready?
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's do it. Sweet. This game is a lot like the TV show Price is Right, if you have ever watched it. How it's going to work is we're going to begin each round of gameplay with a bidding round. I will ask you guys for the price of something, a specific stat, something along those lines. Each of you will go in turn order guessing the price of that item. Whoever is the closest without going over the actual price will get a point and we'll get to play our mini game. If everybody goes over, I'm going to give out no points, but whoever was the closest will still get to play the mini game for a chance to get that additional point. Now, the mini games we will explain as they come up. They're all pretty easy, pretty simple. They should take anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes max for each of them. You don't have to worry about those because we'll explain the rules as they come up. You will get an additional point if you successfully complete the mini game, if you win that solo mini game. We will go like this through 8 rounds, 8 bidding rounds and 8 mini games, at which point we will get to our Showcase Showdown. In the Showcase Showdown, I'm going to have a list of a bunch of different things. It could be stats, win totals, all these different things, career stats, and you're going to have to add them all together and give me what you think the total number is for that Showcase Showdown. Whoever is the closest out of you three in that round will get 6 points. So it's a big old swing. And then whoever comes in second, we're going to give 3 points for second. And if you were the furthest away on that one, you're going to get nothing. And again, this is without going over on that one. Whoever has the most points at the end of the Showcase Showdown will be our champion for today.
All
you guys
right.
ready?
What's the prize?
Cole's Cash. Yeah, we will send you. Yeah, we'll send you Cole's Cash if you come in first place.
Cole's Cash NFTs.
Yeah, Cole
How
Cash.
about
Yeah.
whoever wins gets to give away $100 of Prize Picks cash. Just
Oh, that's
Okay.
your money. Let's do it.
Yeah, we could do that. who are you going to give it to? Just whoever's like your favorite in the chat throughout the show?
I can't see the chat right now. How can I see the chat?
Hit the comments at the
Yeah,
top
there should be a comments
on
button
the
you can click on.
right side. Sorry.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see some names in here: Joey, Dame, Scampers.
All right, Dylan, if you see a guest from one of the audience who you think deserves the promo, you can give it out.
Yeah,
And
How about
that
this?
is a. Go ahead, Dylan.
we each choose one person right now that can cheer for us the entire time. So
Nobody else is allowed to.
I'm gonna ride with Albert. Albert's gonna be my guy this entire time.
Hey,
Oh, that's a good choice. Albert, yeah.
Albert's a ringer in the chat. He's always getting them right.
I'll choose Mr. Scamps.
The chat cat.
Chat cat. No one's ever described me as outdoorsy, so
You'll take it.
that really meant something.
Guys, the order we are going to go in today, JL, we're going to have you going first in this first bidding round. Brett, you're going to go second, and then Dylan, you are going to go third. Whoever plays the mini game will go to the top of the order after that. So Dylan, if you win this first bidding round and you get to play the mini game, you're now going to be guessing first at the price in the next bidding round, just to keep it circular. And there is a slight advantage to being the last one to guess, right? You can go with the $1 strategy or the $1 over the highest bidder strategy. So you got that going for you. Mr. Scamper's in here saying, to be honest, I'm usually wildly off on a couple of items in the final, but they add up to be pretty close. So yeah, as long as you're way over on one and way under on the other, then it works out. Jail, did we have a poll for today's game?
We did.
Who's winning?
And all that posturing from Dylan did not help him in the poll. Brett, 80% of the vote. I got 20% of the vote. Dylan, no percent of the vote.
Brett, they got high hopes for you.
I don't know what it is, Dylan.
I'd actually put my money on Dylan, to be honest.
I think I would too.
I did really well in that one in The Office, but I have not followed football at all. I'm more into the market.
Oh, someone just voted for you, Dylan. Whatever you're doing, it's working. Keep it up.
I was saying how I'm not going to win, but I appreciate
it's the self-deprecating. They love it. Keep
it
up.
Yeah. The more cocky you are, the more the chat hates you.
And Mr. Scamper said, I voted JL. Hey, you picked your right. You picked the right cheerleader for you, JL. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this first bidding round for us. Our very first bidding round is Austin Eckler career receiving yards. So this is over his entire career. How many receiving yards has he had? JL, what is your guess for this one going to be?
God, I hate career stuff.
I know you do.
Because I might be way off. How many years is he even? I'm going to go with 2017. I'll go with 3,400.
3,400 for JL. Brett, what's your guess going to be? Austin Eckler career receiving yards.
2,600.
2,600 for Brett. Dylan, the guesses so far are 2,600 and 3,400.
One higher than Brett's guess.
2601 for Dylan.
Still
one
in
higher than Brett's guess. Hey, Brett's still in it too. He's just got a very small window.
Yeah,
here.
extremely small.
My number was 2,800 before y'all talked.
Yeah.
Expected value there.
You said 2,800?
Yeah, that's what I had before. I
might have gone too high.
We'll see. We got some guesses in the chat. Mr. Scammers with 2345. Dame with 1833. Jake is saying, dude has at least 40, or do we think that's excessive? Yeah, probably a bit excessive there, Jake. And then Rob said, missed opportunity having Prize Picks fellas rep FYF.
Yeah,
we got the FYF guys repping Prize Picks gear going on.
Rude.
Here. And then Albert in here, 3175 for his guess. And Mr. Scampers letting you know, Jake, he thinks a little
80.
bit more than 40. Yeah, at least 80 probably. Okay, guys, the actual answer. The career receiving yards for Austin Eckler is 2,726, which means Dylan, your one over Brett guess is going to pay off, and you are going to get to play our mini game. Brett, Dylan just stole that one right out from underneath you because your guess was pretty damn good.
Man, if we had like hidden responses like Final Jeopardy, I would have won that.
You would have won. Dylan would have been the closest with his 2,800 that he said he was thinking, but it would have been over, so it would not have mattered.
Yeah. Man, I went way too high.
Yeah, you went.
I was the highest amongst everybody on the show and in the chat, and I was wrong.
Sweet. Dylan, I'm going to pull up your first mini game. You're going to get a point for successfully getting that one. And the mini game that you are going to be playing is called Pick a Pair. So how this game works is we're going to show you 6 players and a category. You are going to win if you can choose 2 players with the same stats in the given category. So if it was passing touchdowns, each player up there would have one other player in the list that has the same exact number of that stat. There's going to be 3 different pairs because there's 6 players. I just need you to identify one pair of those players that have that matching statistic. Got it?
And before you go on to that, make sure, hey, if you're watching, make sure you play along. We love it when you play along in the chat, and we will shout you out if you get it right.
And mock the hell out of you if you're just really
just
wrong.
Relentlessly
just rip you to shreds.
Cyberbullying to the max. Yeah.
So Dylan,
Jake said, Rob, get out of here. I'm supposed to be the only handsome guy in the chat. And Rob says, don't let the hat fool you. I'm even more handsome under the hat.
Yeah, me too. That's why I never take it off, because it's more handsome underneath. Okay, Dylan, here is your 6 players. I need you to tell me 2 players that have the same exact number of rushing yards. The players are Lamar Jackson, Myles Gaskin, James Robinson, Chuba Hubbard, Jeff Wilson, and Tyler Huntley. There's 3 pairs. Last year, yeah, so 2021. 3 pairs of rushing yards that match in this one. I just need you to give me one of them.
I mean, Huntley didn't play that many games. Can't be. There's got to be somebody else. How many games did Jeff Wilson play? Not a lot either. Chuba played enough. Well, Lamar. I mean, there's Lamar has had a lot. Gaskin had a lot. Robinson did too.
It's a tough one.
What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Jeff Wilson and Tyler Huntley.
Final answer?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's reveal them. That is absolutely correct. They each had 294 down there at the bottom. Yeah. I thought maybe someone would underestimate Chuba Hubbard and get him mixed up in that mess. But your pairs were Lamar Jackson and James Robinson with 767, Myles Gaskin and Chuba Hubbard with 612, and then Jeff Wilson and Tyler Huntley with 294 apiece.
I got all 3 combos right.
Damn, Brett, that is 3 moral points for you.
Moral points.
Not show up on the scoreboard, but you are going to get some moral points for that
hypothetical points though, right?
Oh yeah, you get all the hypothetical points in the world. You get not all of them. You get 3 specifically.
Yeah, that's it.
So make sure you're keeping track of those because we'll fax you some hypothetical calls.
And you get $10 in Prize Picks promo.
Dylan, that's going to put you out to an early lead, 2-0 in this game so far. And the chat was on top of this one. Lamar J-Rob from J-Wall, Gaskin Huntley,
wrong.
And Hub Wilson.
So,
that is wrong. Oops, I tricked you, J-Wall. Idiot. Got that one wrong. Albert with Gaskin Robinson. That was a good guess as well. Those guys were up there close, but not quite. So, Dylan, I spoke too soon. The chat was not all over this one, and you still pulled out a correct answer. Nice job.
Thank you.
Okay, Dylan, you've got the first guess in this bidding round. It is the average home game attendance at Georgia Tech football games in 2021. What is your guess for this question?
What happens if all 3 of us go over?
Then whoever's closest will play the mini game, but nobody gets a point for that bidding round. Yeah. He said, what happens if all 3 of us go over?
I'm trying to think of the game theory of what should I do going first? Because I know I'm the most informed with his answers. I know that I'm copied. I went to most of these games, so I would think so. I don't know how to track it.
Did you count people every time you were there?
I did not.
Dylan spent the entire time counting instead of watching the game.
So the Georgia game is a sellout. That's I'm not going to say how many people are in the stadium, but that amount of people. I
love watching how quickly it becomes cutthroat. I'm not sharing that information.
It's a good game. I think that average. I'm going to say 36,512.
36,512 from Dylan. JL, you've got the next guess. Where are you going?
Every interaction I've had with Brett, it's told me he's a nice guy. So I'm just going to go ahead and hope that he doesn't screw me on this one. I'm going to go with $1.
$1 for JL or one person in attendance. So JL's guess is 1. Dylan's guess is 36,512. Brett, you got a lot of different ways you could go here.
I'm going to go 2.
You son of a bitch.
I have no clue.
I take back everything nice I said about Brett.
I would have said 26,000 or something, but I have no clue.
But 2 covers that. Two still covers that number, Brett.
Yeah.
So you're good. Brett taking the smart approach, betraying JL's trust, but going with 2. Dylan with 36,512. And JL, unless the average attendance was exactly 1 person, you are not going to win this round.
You don't know.
I went to every game, so it's at least 1.
Were you alone, Dylan?
Yeah.
At any?
Did you see anybody? This is very important how you answer this next question. Was there anybody else there?
Yes.
We had some guesses from the chat. Mr. Scampers was 69,069. Nice. Jay with 136. Jay Wall with 24,983. Albert with 25,575. Chevin with 27,696. Rob with 79%.
True.
Wrong game, Rob.
Second.
We're not playing poll perception. That's a different game entirely.
I'll take the over.
And Mr. Scampers changing their answer to 33,333. So, Dylan, you were quite a bit higher than the rest of the chat. But also, you were the only one who went to most of these games. So we will see how this plays out.
Almost 55,000 in the stadium. And I think
55,000. Okay.
It was probably
Dylan, I almost asked what the max capacity was, but I was like, Dylan's going to know that. He's going to know that's spot on for the Georgia Tech Stadium.
55,000 on the nose. But I think that these places probably say what actually was there. Like, it was pretty empty, but my guess is they're going to say that there was more than there actually was. So
right.
We'll see. The average attendance, according to official Georgia Tech numbers, was
79%.
37,515.
Wow.
Dylan, you were very close with your guess, off by only about 1,000 people. So yet again, you have 1 hour bidding round, and you're going to get to play the next mini game.
He's got a chip on his shoulder now after that poll.
Dylan, Brett, you guys, you enjoying the show that Dylan's putting on?
Yes, fantastic. I love it. I'm usually the one playing.
Okay, Dylan, your next mini game, 2 in a row for you. We are playing multiplier in this round. Multiplier. 3 players are going to be displayed, each with a multiplier for their stats. In order to win, you must choose the player with the highest total based on their stat multiplied by the number shown. So I'm just going to show this to make sure you get the full understanding. The stat is 2021 passing yards, and I need to know which one of these numbers is the highest. Is it Justin Herbert's passing yards times 3, Trevor Lawrence passing yards times 4, or Taysom Hill passing yards times 10? Which of these numbers is the highest?
Taysom got hurt. Did he even start the year? I think Jameis started I completely forget. But it's not Lawrence. There's no chance it's that. He was just terrible. Herbert didn't even throw for that many yards this year. I think it's got to be Taysom. Like, not even close.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Justin Herbert had 5,014 passing yards for a total of 15,042. Trevor Lawrence had 3,641, putting him pretty close to Herbert, but not quite there, 14,564. And Taysom Hill had 978. So times 10, that's only going to put him at 9,780. So Justin Herbert was the correct answer. Dylan, you did not get the point for that one, but you've still got
that
still
one's
got quite the lead.
How many games did Taysom Hill play last year? Like 2?
I have that pulled up.
I bet like 4.
I thought he played like 10. I was just like way off in my head then. I thought he played like 10, 15 games. I was way off.
Let's see how many games Taysom Hill played last
When
season.
did he play last year? When did he get hurt?
He got hurt fairly early. Let's go over to passing yards.
Week 4?
Oh, I guess they played that other guy.
Taysom Hill played in 12
they,
games, but he wasn't the starting quarterback.
Simeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simeon's terrible. That's what they played.
They're all
I forgot
terrible.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Anyway, you slice it over there. And Taysom Hill has recently reshifted his position back to tight end, said with Andy Dalton coming in to serve as the backup that he was going to focus on being the best NFL tight end that he could. Dylan, we'll ask you first. Do you have any interest in Taysom Hill as a tight end next year? Do you think he can find fantasy success consistently, or no? Is he a kind of player you're not going to be looking to draft?
Yeah, I think I'm absolutely all about him. The hope would be that people are not interested in him and feel like there's no chance that he's not going to get some touchdowns rushing the ball in the red zone and stuff like that. So I would think there are some weeks where he blows up.
And Brett, we've seen it before when he got tight end eligibility on ESPN, where he still gets quarterback snaps. Do you think it's a new coaching staff down there, though, and Sean Payton, his biggest fan, is no longer the coach. Do you think we might still see some Taysom Hill at quarterback and like gadget plays and like drawn up plays specifically for him?
Probably. To your question that you asked, Dylan, if you're talking about best ball, I could definitely see value, but predicting the game-to-game production, I would never want to own him in season long, like regular, because I don't think you're going to be able to predict when he's going to go off for a touchdown or two.
Yep, I completely agree with that. I think he's going to be completely touchdown dependent this upcoming year on whether you're happy you started him. But that makes a great best ball kind of player. And if he's tight end eligible when the best ball draft starts, he's going to be tight end eligible all season. And there's a 0% chance that he plays quarterback for them at some point this season. It's not just a guarantee he's not going to step back into that quarterback role. So we'll see. We'll see on that one.
I have a question related to another quarterback in that list.
Let's do it.
This one is for Dylan and Brett. If you were going to, take a choice on over under Trevor Lawrence's passing yards of 3,950 and a half in 2021, which would you take, the over or under?
2022, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's specific to a certain sports book that's got that offered?
No, nobody. No NFL future projections that I'm basing this off of.
Gotcha.
I think it's a pretty clear over. Although, I guess that's what we have right up there now.
3,641 this past season, so just 500 more yards or 400 more yards.
And I mean, they have more weapons now with
elite wide receiver one, Christian Kirk.
Kirk,
monster,
the $20 million man.
I think, man. Yeah, I think I would lean over too. I think he played all the games last year, so that scares me. Like, there are scenarios where he gets hurt and goes under that, but if he plays all the games, you would think that has to be an over.
Yeah,
Shevin in here agreeing with you. I agree there, but I just think there's no way he takes a step back in this coming season. He has to take a step forward, and if not, I'll be completely shocked. Guys, we are going to move on to our next bidding round, and the order is not going to change because Dylan did go first in that one. This next one I'm asking is the highest selling NBA Top Shot moment of all time. So the top selling one, we need to know the price of it. So it was a LeBron James dunk on October 11th, 2020 of the 2020 NBA Finals. It's a Series 1 version of this, legendary, number 23 of only 79 in existence. Dylan, you've got the first guess here.
I mean, yes, he knows the exact
price. I was first last time, too.
Yeah, you played the mini game.
Oh, gotcha. Damn, I think I know the exact answer, but I don't.
So then you don't.
I know who bought it, and I know who sold it, and the general number, but I don't know the exact number.
What's it going to be?
$219,000.
$219,000 from Dylan. JL, what's your guess going to be?
I'll go with 325,000. There we go.
325,000 from JL.
Yeah.
And Brett, Dylan guessed 219,000. JL guessed 325,000. What is your guess going to be?
I'm gonna go one above Dylan's guess.
It's not 325. The limit at that time was 250, so it's definitely under 250. But I think it's either 219 or 223, maybe. It's one of those two.
Okay, let's find out. Our guess is Dylan with 219,000, Brett with 219,001, and JL with $325,000. We had two guesses in the chat. Mr. Scamper said 5.9 Bitcoin, and Dame said $1 million.
$1 million.
Same thing, right? 5.9 Bitcoin and $1 million. And Albert in here with 245,000, and Scampers with their final guess of $22,222.
Is that a half of an FYF logo next to LeBron?
It could be like 213 too. Yeah, it's something up there.
It looks up there in the top corner.
Yeah.
I think it is. I don't know how that got there.
Is that official? Is he our partner?
Oh, it's gone.
Oh,
it's
not.
The actual price, guys, was $230,023, which means Brett, your one over Dylan paid off, and you are going to get to play the next mini game.
All right.
Swapping the order over here and giving you a point. So now the score after that is going to be JL still with 0, Brett with 1, and Dylan with 3. But it is still anyone's game because the Showcase Showdown is worth a lot of points. Let's go into our next game. Brett, you are going to be playing high-low in this round. For this game, you're going to be shown 6 players, and you must choose the 3 with the most yards in order to win. And I'll give you the specific type of yard. So I'm going to show you 6 players. I need you to give me the top 3. The category is rushing yards. Your 6 players are A.J. Dillon, Devonta Freeman, Mike Davis, Elijah Mitchell, Derrick Henry, and DeAndre Swift. I need the 3 with the most rushing yards.
But this is really easy. There's 3 obvious ones.
Let's see.
Or at least 2 obvious ones.
Dylan getting less confident the longer he looks at it.
All right. I'll go Derrick Henry, Elijah Mitchell, and I'm drawing a blank on where Devonta Freeman even played last year. So I guess I'll go DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift.
Right.
So Derrick Henry, Elijah Mitchell, and DeAndre Swift is your final answer, Brett?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Dylan, I heard you speaking up. What were you going to say there?
Can't be Swift. He was all receiving yards last year. It's got to be A.J. Dillon.
JL, do you agree with Brett or Dylan here? Or is it you got a different set of 3?
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
It's a lock to be Mitchell and Henry. That's guaranteed. But the other 2,
let's see. We'll reveal them in order. Number 1 was Elijah Mitchell with 963 receiving yards. So you got that one right, Brett.
Yep.
Number 2 was Derrick Henry with 937. You also got that one right. Number 3 was A.J. Dillon with 803 rushing yards. DeAndre Swift at 617. Devonta Freeman at 576. And then Mike Davis down there at 503. The DeAndre Swift was definitely the trick thrown in there. I think
I just thought because he played pretty much every game. So
and he was the lead. He was the lead back in that offense. You don't think of A.J. Dillon as the lead back, even though we're starting to see them split carries more and more in that offense. But definitely the trickier one, having maybe the backup with more yards than the lead back when they both played most of the season. But Brett, two more hypothetical points for you for getting 2 out of the 3 right there. So you've now got a grand total of 5 hypothetical points and 1 real point, putting you in second ahead of JL. Dylan's still in first place. And let's see, did anyone in our chat get this one? We had Derek, Elijah, Dylan get that one. Rob was close.
Scamper.
You got one of them right with Henry, but then Freeman Davis. There were some other tricky ones in there as well.
They didn't hear the question, just likes typing names. Me too. Me too.
Albert said Mitchell, Swift, and Henry. Oh, we've got a very important update. Mr. Scamper said they just got an ad for shirts. So now our ads are the ads you've seen in our video so far are avocados from Mexico, baked beans, legumes in general, and shirts.
Yeah, I feel like there was another one in there. It's like finance.
I feel like it was something very boring, like mortgage repayment or something like that. Oh,
so unrelated to these comments, apparently you can insert an ad while live. I did not know that.
Oh, like
but that's
ads can just come up in the middle of us playing?
Like I can hit a button and it just inserts an ad. Everybody has to watch an ad.
That's funny.
I didn't do that here.
Can we pick which ad shows up?
I don't know. I know.
That would be really funny. Guys, we're going to move on to our next bidding round. Brett, you are going to go first here. Dylan, you are going to go second. JL third. And what I need to know is how many career passing touchdowns does Tom Brady have? This is regular season only, not including the playoffs. How many career passing touchdowns for Tom Brady? Right, you're our resident New England sports fan.
Yeah, I know.
This first 2 questions are like built for me. Like this one feels like it's built for Brett. So.
Last one was 100% built for you.
I'm gonna go 521.
521 for Brett. Dylan, how many passing touchdowns do you think Tom Brady has in his career?
572.
572 from Dylan. So far we've got 521, 572. JL, what do you think here?
572
is what Dylan said. Yeah.
573.
573. It is a cutthroat game today. JL, He said, I'm done playing nice. I need
Gotta
to get
on
this
board,
board.
Dylan.
So our guesses are 521 for Brett, 572 for Dylan, 573 for JL. We've got some guesses in the chat. We've got 521 for Shevin. Mr. Scamper said 555. Dane with 499.
Right around your guess, Dylan.
Dan with 843.
Not that one.
Albert with 515. J-Wall with 534. And the actual number of passing touchdowns Tom Brady has in his career is 624 passing touchdowns.
Pretty good guess, Dylan.
That was a great guess, Dylan.
Or Brett really was anchored us.
You fed it to JL. He swooped in, and JL, you're going to get that point and get to play our next mini game. Tying you up with Brett, making the score 1-1 to 3. Dylan's still sitting there up in the lead. Sitting pretty, not even sweating. You guys got some catching up to do. Okay, JL, the game you are going to be playing is Pick a Number. How this game works is the contestant is shown a player's yardage. Oops. God, I keep doing that. The contestant is shown a player's yardage total with one digit missing. The contestant wins by correctly selecting the missing digit from 3 possible choices. So I'm going to show you a stat. There's going to be one number missing, and then you are going to have to guess based on the 3 choices that I gave you. Okay. So let me go ahead and pull this up for you, and then we will show you the player. AJ Green's 2021 receiving yards. Was it 648, 748, or 848 receiving yards for AJ Green last year?
I feel like this just came up recently.
Oh, and Mr. Scampers is cheering for you, saying, here we go, JL.
Here we go.
That might be condescending.
I feel like it's higher than I think it is. So I'm going to go 7 or 8. You know what? Go big or go home. I'll go 848.
Final answer?
Yep.
Okay. Well, the actual number of receiving yards AJ Green had in 2021 was 848.
Always higher than I think. Every single time.
You saw straight through the trap. AJ Green, I feel like we always think he's probably in that 500, 600 range, but like he was approaching 900 yards.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
The Cardinals?
Cardinals, yeah. He was approaching 900 yards on the Cardinals last year, which I don't know about you guys, but seeing AJ Green approach 900 yards makes me hopeful for Marquise Brown in that offense with the suspension for DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk leaving town. You have to think Marquise Brown at this point in his career is a better receiver than AJ Green at this point in his career. There's no arguing who was the better at their prime, but I'm excited for Marquise Brown. JL, how are you viewing Marquise Brown for next year? Is it wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, or maybe higher?
I think it has to be a wide receiver 3 at this point, based off what we know. It's really tough to try and project that offense where there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of change, and he's going into a crowded situation. So it's really going to be dependent on whether he's able to, grab a decent amount of that target share on that offense. And I'm not going to sit here and say what I've seen from Marquise Brown gives me a ton of confidence that he's going to do that. And so I'm not sure. I'm a little bit more hesitant. I had him as a wide receiver 2 in Baltimore. I moved him down to wide receiver 3.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Maybe a little less bullish than I am. Brett, I see you about to say something there. Do you have an opinion about Marquise Brown on this team for next season?
No, not really. Not too much. I mean, I think he should be good at least the first half of the season.
Before we get Nuke back on that offense. Yeah. Shout out to Dame as well for getting that right. The only person in the chat. So JL, you and Dame, who has been the superstar of multiple fantasy football pub trivias, coming in here and killing it right now. Just a warm up for tonight. JL, that is going to give you 1 additional point, bringing
pub trivia tonight
to 2. Brett with 1 and Dylan with 3. And you know what? That is a good time to remind everybody. You guys have been asking for it, and we are bringing it back. So tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to be hosting Fantasy Football Pub Trivia. That is where you guys get to play. You guys are the contestants. We've got 3 rounds of trivia prep for you guys. All you have to do is download the Sporkle Party app and tune in whenever we go live. We will be hosting, asking the questions, revealing the answers, and you will win bragging rights over everybody else in the chat until we do it again if you come in and you win. And at the very least, J-Wall is going to be on, and you will get to beat him live. You'll get to watch his face as he comes in last place yet again. So make sure you guys tune in tonight at 8:30 for Fantasy Football Pub Trivia. You guys ready for the next bidding round?
Yeah.
Do it.
We're on to round 5.
What's the order?
Bidding round? Oh, the order is JL first, then Brett, then Dylan, since JL got that one right. And Brett, you got the one before that right. So this is the total points scored by the Dallas Mavericks through the first 5 games of the conference semifinals against the Phoenix Suns. So how many total points have they scored in those 5 games combined? JL, you got a guess?
425.
425 for JL. Brett?
I'm gonna go 485.
485 for Brett. So we've got 425, 485. Dylan, what do you think?
I think that JL doesn't watch basketball. 1.
Oh, no, none at all.
And I was gonna guess well into the hundreds, but I don't have to. I'll just go 486. Oh, one higher.
You guys are brutal in this strategy today. Dylan guessing 486 on that one.
486.
Is that what you said?
Brett, right?
Yeah, one higher than Brett. So
Okay.
425 for JL, 485 for Brett, and 486 for Dylan. Let's see. We've got some guesses in the chat. 513 from Dame, 555 from Mr. Scampers, and J-Wall said this just in. J-Wall is a dummy. No, he just knows a lot about Shrek and Madagascar.
That's it.
And that's it. So unless it's a Shrek or Madagascar themed trivia, you're going to struggle. And we got Scott Fish in here. Pub trivia. Yep. You and your son can come in and be the MVPs again. You guys absolutely killed it whenever you came on last time. That'll be tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, guys.
Next time, what do we think JL thinks they scored in the match?
I would never have guessed 425. That's for sure.
Is that ridiculous guess? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Why?
It's just way too low.
Because they usually score over 100?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
somewhere in the 100 ballpark.
I guess
Okay.
I think I made that assumption in my bracket and I went way too high. So I was
Well,
probably
but
just
college
overcorrecting.
basketball is different from the NBA, very much so, in
Yeah.
how high the
Yeah.
scores go. Like college basketball
Yeah.
games end in the 70s all the time. NBA, they're getting 100, 115. But I will say, one of the games this series, the Mavericks did only score 80 points. So they did not go. I'm going to say that, but we will reveal the actual
I
answer
like
now.
Dylan's idea.
The total points scored by the Dallas Mavericks in the first 5 games, 517. So
Oh, it was
Dylan,
this close.
that is going to make you the winner with 486. Going to give you one more point, and you get to play the next mini game.
Dotan in here saying Ron says 543.
Well, Ron, you were wrong. You were over. Dame
Wow,
in
that's
here,
nice.
Watching this, it's awesome.
the absolute closest from Dame with 513.
513.
Holy shit.
Damn, Dame.
Just absolutely nailed it on that one. And then Albert pretty close
You
as
must
well
watch
with
basketball.
505. Yeah, maybe Dame does watch basketball. So Dylan, that gave you one additional point, bringing you to 4. And we are going to go on to our next mini game. This next game is called Stat Splurge. How this works is you're going to be shown 4 players and a stat. To win, the contestant must choose the 3 players one at a time whose stat exceeds the stat shown. So, for example, I could say over 10 receiving touchdowns and show you 4 players. One by one, I would need you to name the 3 players that exceed that stat. And I'll tell you if you're right after each one. So we'll go that way, one by one. Your category is receptions, and I need the stat number that they went over is 90 receptions. 3 of these players did have more than 90 receptions this past season. One of them did not. So I'm going to ask you one by one to tell me a name that you think had more than 90 receptions. I'll tell you if you're right, and if you are, we will go on to the next one.
Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow is correct. He had over 100 receptions this
He
year.
was a beast.
Mhm.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore had over 90 receptions. I believe he had 93 exactly. That is correct. So you're down to the last 2. Between Deebo Samuel and Marquise Brown, which one of these players had more than 90 receptions?
I think you want me to think it's Deebo Samuel. The question is it Deebo Samuel?
Maybe I want you to think that I want you to think Deebo Samuel.
He got a lot of carries. That's the issue here, but he did have a lot of catches too. Mark Andrews got a lot of catches there. I'm gonna go Deebo Samuel.
Final answer?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That is incorrect. No. Deebo Samuel had 77. You got all the way down to the end. He was a yak monster. He had like 1,400 receiving yards, but he did it on only 77 receptions for the 1,400 plus receiving yards last year. Marquise Brown was sitting there at 91.
Wow.
Yeah.
He had a couple like 0 for or maybe like 2 catch games when he was getting 12 to 15 carries.
Damn.
It is, yeah. It's wild when you look at his stats. You just assume he had to be up there. And Dylan, you just about saw through my trick. You were right there, and then you second guessed it. But that's two hypothetical points for you, 2 moral points. So Brett, watch out. Dylan's catching up to you on that one. We had some people in the chat get this one. J-Wall said Debo didn't. Albert said Debo didn't. Carrington saying Marquise Brown. Sorry, Carrington. That is very incorrect.
The scammer said Debo no. Carrington said I knew that.
Yeah, he just read the question wrong. Obviously,
what up, C?
Welcome in. Mr. Scambers has a very important question for us before we move on to the next round. JL, we'll start with you. Splurge or moist?
Yes.
Okay. Dylan?
Yes.
Brett?
What?
Just splurge or moist?
Very simple question, Brett.
Splurge, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to side with Brett on this
nasty.
one. You guys said yes, but I'm going to side with splurge here. Okay,
Freaks.
guys, we're going to move on to our next bidding round. This is round 6. This is Pumpkin Island, an island off the coast of Australia. It is for sale on privateislandsonline.com. And before you guys guess, I did just want to read you a little bit about Pumpkin Island to give you some context as to what you're bidding on. This is an exclusive opportunity to secure a rare jewel in the southern Great Barrier Reef in Queensland, Australia. This tiny gem, 6 hectares or 15 acres in total, offers you eco-friendly accommodation for up to 34 guests in 5 self-contained oceanfront guest cottages with outdoor decks, 2 bungalows with an open-air kitchen and bathroom facilities. The island is completely off-grid and powered by solar, wind, and with plenty of rainwater storage. So who just played that mini game? Dylan did. So Dylan, you are going first in this round. How much do you think the island I just described costs to purchase? Purchase. This is to buy the island.
I've got no idea. You hear private island a lot in the crypto streets of you sell your coins.
Of course.
Of
course you do.
Yeah, back in the crypto streets.
I just don't know what amount of crypto you need to do that.
The price is in US dollars, not Ethereum, unfortunately.
This is in Australia. Do you know how far from us, where in Australia is this?
It is located 14 kilometers off the coast of Yeppoon and only 10 kilometers north of Great Keppel Island. Does that answer your question at all?
That's really helpful.
Okay.
Figured as much.
I'm gonna go. Wait, how many miles is it? Actually?
It is 15 acres in total. That is the size of this island.
I'm going to go $33.5 million.
Dylan says $33.5 million. JL, how much do you think this island costs?
US dollars, by the way.
US dollars, not Australian dollars.
Yeah.
45 mil.
45 mil for JL. So Brett, so far we've got 33.5, 45. How much do you think this island costs?
I'm gonna go with $1. I was thinking it was like low teens, like 14 million or so.
Brett guessing $1. We have our
size
first $1
that'll buy you
bid.
like 14 houses in Maryland.
Or you can get 5
or
houses
you can get
in
an
island. It's got 5 houses
doesn't
on
I think
it.
JL's going to get this one, honestly. But I've got some.
I was thinking it was going to be up north of 100 million. So I'm happy I got the upper bound here.
Yeah.
We'll see. We got some guesses in the chat.
Got it.
Dame said 133 million after saying at least 5.
At
Carrington
least
with
5,
150 million.
That's a good guess.
Mr. Scampers wants to know gas or electric stove. I think it's electric. Does that change your answer? 69 million is their guess. Doton with 27.5 million. Albert with 35 million. The actual price of this island was 18.5 million. Brett, it's a bargain, guys. Someone jump on this deal of an island in Australia.
15 acres, 5 cottages, 2 bungalows.
And entirely self-sufficient power-wise. Like, come on. What a deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Someone sell all your Coles cash and buy this island immediately.
Yeah, quick.
Brett, you were the closest with your $1 guess. The first $1 pulled out this game, and it worked. So you are going to move up to 2 points, and you get to play our next mini game. And see in here agree, and that's a deal.
Yeah, you were just about to pay 150 million, Carrington.
Yeah, what that's like whenever you go into like Kohl's and they pretend like the t-shirt you're about to buy is 95% off, but really it was just $800 to begin with.
Yeah. Such a discount.
Okay, Brett, the game you are going to be playing is called Easy as 1, 2, 3, and the rules are fairly simple. The contestant must rank 3 players' fantasy points from largest to smallest. you'll win by correctly ranking all 3 players. So the 3 players, this is 2021 PPR fantasy points. I need you to put them in order. Ezekiel Elliott, Kyle Pitts, Javonte Williams.
All right. Let's see here. Yeah. Pitts is definitely going to be the lowest for me. He didn't score any touchdowns. I think I'm going to go Zeke most, Javonte second, and Pitts third.
Okay. Zeke, Williams, Pitts, final answer?
Yeah.
Okay. And I am going to reveal these not in order, but just show you the order they were written and the number of points. So it's going to show up in that order. Ezekiel Elliott had 252.1 fantasy points. Kyle Pitts had 176.6. So if Javonte Williams lies in between those 2 numbers, Brett, you will get the point for this one. And he does with 204.9. You nailed the order. Zeke, Javonte, Kyle Pitts in last.
I had Javonte first over Zeke.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of the trick there.
That absolutely was the trick.
But Zeke and Pitts is kind of tricky too.
I feel like Simon's putting a trick in every single one of these questions.
Yeah.
Well, and then the good thing is if I put tricks in a lot of them, I don't have to put tricks in all of them because then you guys start looking for tricks.
Yeah.
Then the non-tricky ones also become tricks right there. But you got that one right, Brett.
Sweet.
Let's see. We had some answers in the chat. EE pitch, Javonte, close, Mr. Scampers. And Dan said Zeke, Williams, Pitts. Nice job. Albert with Zeke, Williams, Pitts. J-Wall as well getting that one. And Dame getting that one too. Nice job, guys. And Mr. Scampers with a novel idea. The chat going in on the island together. Perfect. Oh. Yeah, absolutely. That would be terrifying to have an FYF chat island. They're just all in one place.
Oh, my God.
I feel like we would be overthrown.
Everywhere.
Oh, so many cats. That's like 80% of our viewership is cats. Let's see. And Scott said tricks are for kids. Yeah, I guess that works out.
Yeah.
Works out for me. And so are tricks. Brett, that's going to put you within 1 point of Dylan now. You have 3 points. Distance. JL has 2. Dylan has 4.
I want to root for you, Brett, but I can't shake the betrayal from earlier.
Let's move on to our next bidding round. Brett, you're going to go first here. And what I need to know from you is Najee Harris 2021 PPR fantasy points. So how many fantasy points in a PPR league did Najee Harris have last season?
Let's see here. I'm going to go with 237.
237 for Brett. Dylan, how many fantasy points do you think Najee Harris had last season?
More than Zeke, for sure. A lot more than Zeke. Question is JL going to just one up me? I have to put it a high enough number to incentivize JL not to do that.
Can't incentivize me nothing.
So I got to be a pretty high, or else I'm just gonna get one up here.
Get high.
Brett guessed what?
237.
237.
Let's go with 280.
280 for Dylan. JL. Dylan said he was going to try to price you out. What are you going to do here?
He failed. 281.
I went really damn high on that.
I think no matter what you said, even if you would have gone like 600 out of principle, JL was going to one up you on that one. We have some guesses in the chat. J-Wall's saying 400, JK too high, 340. Mr. Scamper said 233, Dame with 255, Albert with 275. And the actual number of PPR fantasy points that Najee Harris had last season was 300.7. Meaning, JL, you edged out Dylan. You are going to get to play this next minigame.
My favorite activity.
Edging out Dylan. Well, I hope you like this minigame half as much as you like doing that. Round 7, your minigame is going to be magic number. You love this one, I think, JL. This is one of your favorites. I'm going to show you
track of all the things that I like nowadays.
I know. I'm going to show you 2 players. You are going to win by choosing a number anywhere between the 2 players' stats. So I will show you 2 players and a stat category. You just got to give me a number that lies in between that stat for those 2 players. Passing touchdowns, Jimmy Garoppolo and Carson Wentz. I need a number that lies in between the number of passing touchdowns that these players had.
Okay. Garoppolo, Carson Wentz. I know that they both had lower. So we're talking like probably 20 something. I'm going to go with 20, 25, 24.
24?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Jimmy Garoppolo had 20 touchdowns. So as long as Carson Wentz had more than 24, JL, you are going to be correct.
Like
Carson Wentz had 27 passing touchdowns for Carson Wentz, JL.
I figured he hit Michael Pittman enough times to get that number up high.
And that's why he had to get out of there. Michael Pittman was going to beat him up for hitting him so often.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No. JL, that's going to put you at 3 points tied with Brett.
Hey,
Brett,
you forgot one of my numbers.
Oh, I did forget one of your points, didn't I?
Yeah.
Because you've played twice and you've gotten both mini games. So Brett, it is 4-3-4. You are now falling behind by 1 point, but it is still anybody's game. With it being this close, it's going to come down to the last round. But we've got one more bidding round, so I want to make sure we have time for that. This is going to be the total passing touchdowns by all NFL teams in the 2021 regular season. So this is the total number of passing touchdowns thrown this year. JL, how many passing touchdowns were thrown in the 2021 regular season?
My God, I'm going to be so off on this.
I love the ones like this where like none of you guys know this. I hope not. But you guys all have enough knowledge or like little things that you can try to piece together like a number that makes sense here.
I can use a calculator, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Just as long as it doesn't have internet access.
I don't know a calculator that does.
My TI-89 did.
It did?
Yeah. You could connect it to the internet.
All right. Let's just assume like 26 touchdowns per team. I'll go with 918.
918 for JL. Brett, how many do you think there were?
By the way, 26 times 32 is definitely not 918.
No, it's lower. It's 832, but I just decided to go higher.
All right, let's see. So wait, he said 918. I'm gonna go. Oh wait, yeah, that's not.
Carry the 7, divide by 4.
Yeah.
What's the square root of?
I was just about to go one lower than his, and then I realized that I can't win if I do that.
Yeah, that's like unless there was exactly 917.
That's a bold move.
Yeah.
Could be that though.
All right. So I'm gonna do 873.
873 for Brett. Dylan, the guesses so far 873 and 918. What do you think here?
922.
922. He's giving you a little window there, JL. You've got a little window. He didn't go one over. I love
little windows.
Oh, it's one of your
favorite kind of windows.
We've got some guesses in the chat. Mr. Scampers with 909.
Hey,
Dane with 1101. Albert with 875. And Doton with 845.
Doton.
The actual number of touchdowns by all NFL teams in the 2021 regular season was 840.
Oh my God.
JL, if you would have stuck with your original logic, you would have absolutely
I would have been 8 away.
This one.
God,
Brett,
dang it.
You were the closest, but you did go over. So you're not going to get a point for this, but you will get to play the mini game, which gives you a shot at getting one more point, tying it up before we go into the final round.
I must have nailed that average. Must be 26.
Yeah, you were like, I think 26.45 or 25 or something like that is the actual average whenever I
Dylan taught me how to do that.
Yeah. Dylan taught you how to do an average.
Taught me how to make lines.
Okay, Brett, your last game is called Checkout. This is one of my favorites. How this is going to work is you're going to be asked to individually guess the receptions of 4 different players. One player will be automatically given. If your cumulative total is within 30 receptions of the actual total of the 4 players, high or low, you will win. So you must be within 30 total of their receptions all around. Jalen Waddle had 104 receptions. That is your anchor point here. So one by one, I need you to give me the receptions of these other players.
This is regular season?
Regular season, yeah.
Yeah.
And a reminder, this is receptions.
Yep. Kelsey, I'm going to do, I guess, 99.
99 for Kelsey. What about for Christian Kirk?
83.
83 for Kirk.
Hunter Henry, 44.
44 for Hunter Henry, bringing your total to 330, Brett, whenever you add all of those together, including the Jalen Waddle one that was given to you.
Oh, okay.
So let's run through these. Jalen Waddle had 104. Travis Kelce had 92. So you were only 7 off on that one with your guess of 99. So far, so good. Christian Kirk had 77. So you were only 6 off on that one, Brett. So with your guess of 83. And then the last one, Hunter Henry had 50. So you're only 6 off, bringing the grand total to 323, meaning in total, you were only 7 off whenever you add them all together. This is the one that was a wildly impressive game of checkout. Usually at least one of them throws people off, but you absolutely nailed that one. So, Brett, that is going to give you one more point, and we're going to move rapidly into our Showcase Showdown real quick. I'll give you guys 1 minute on this Showcase Showdown to make sure that you've got time to add all of this together. So if you guys have something to write on or a phone where you could put this number down, I'll give you guys 1 minute. The Showcase Showdown, I need you to tell me the total of all of these items. Davis Mills, 2021 passing yards. Kansas City Chiefs, 2021 first downs. Dalton Schultz, 2021 PPR fantasy points. And the number of games for a team in a single MLB season. This is a typical season, not the shortened pandemic season from last year. So your typical season, how many games do they have? I'm just looking for one number here, guys. You don't have to give me each individual number. So I'll give you about 30 more seconds, 45 seconds to come up with your answer.
God, this is so much more difficult on a time crunch.
First downs, I just have no idea how many first downs. 30? Something like that.
I only know because of trivia.
So are we all gonna like show our answers at the same time, or just
Yep. Or I'll have you guys reveal your answers. Then whoever's closest without going over will get 6. So basically, whoever's closest wins. Whoever's second closest comes in second, and whoever's third leaves the game a loser. Let me know when you guys have your answer. Brett, you got yours?
Yeah, I'm good.
JL?
Yeah.
I just need to add. But yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Dylan?
Yep.
Okay. Let's go ahead and see those answers, guys. Once you're done adding, JL, we'll trust you that you're not cheating. Dylan said 3,549. Is that what that says, Dylan?
Yep.
Brett, what does yours say?
30-30.
30-30 for Brett. And JL?
26-35.
26-35 for JL.
Probably.
Okay, guys, the actual percentage we've gotten here. Davis Mills had 2,664 passing yards.
Low.
The Chiefs had 419 first downs. Dalton Schultz had 209 PPR fantasy points, and there were 162 games in an MLB season, bringing the total to 3,453. Dylan, you were the closest, but you went over, meaning Brett, you are the champion of fantasy. The price is right today. You pulled out the W at the last second. Just grasp it away from Dylan, who had been in the lead the entire game. But Dylan, if it's any consolation, you get some serious bonus points for that last round, some moral points for being the closest but going over.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think you actually beat Brett in moral points at this point.
Yeah.
JL, you came in second in both categories, actually. I'm so sorry.
Middling.
Right in the middle.
That's exactly
in both.
where I belong. Yep. That's where I live.
Brett and Dylan, I wanted to thank you guys so much. Dylan, I know you have to hop right here at 4 p.m., but thank you guys so much for coming on. And everybody watching, if you haven't played on Prize Picks, make sure you go check out Prize Picks. These guys are great friends of the show. Prize Picks is a phenomenal company. JL and I obviously have both done work with them over the past couple of years, and just cannot highlight enough how cool of a product it is. If you enjoy fantasy football, it's a beautiful place to play. So go check it out. And make sure you're following these guys on Twitter. You can find Dylan on Twitter at Dylan Cooper 32 and Brett on Twitter at LinesMaker Brett. Mr. Scamper's in here absolutely celebrating the victory. Guys, that is going to be it for us this afternoon. A reminder, we'll be live tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time right here on this channel for Fantasy Football Pub Trivia. So make sure to come and play along with us. Another big congrats to Brett for coming out victorious today. And a big thank you to everybody in the chat for playing along with us. We'll see you guys tonight. Adios, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Trading makes fantasy fun.